Well, I haven't made any videos in a while, and so I figured I'd post up a little video of this project that I'm working on this week. And what I got here is some 1x1 square tubing. It's an 065 wall square tubing, so it's real thin. And what I'm making is a canopy for a compact tractor. They call it a compact tractor. It's, you know, it's not like a big combine or anything like that. It's a New Holland TC33D. And I don't have the tractor here. I'm in Dallas, and the tractor is located out in Comanche County, where my parents' ranch is. And so anyway, the tractor came with a canopy that's made of fiberglass with a steel reinforcement structure underneath, and it mounts to the roll bar. Well, it's real heavy. It's about 100 pounds by itself, just the canopy, and real cumbersome and a real pain in the butt to install it. And you may ask why we don't just leave it on there all the time. Well, the big reason is with the factory canopy installed, the tractor is too tall to fit into the little garage where we keep it. And not only that, there's a bunch of trees out there that we like to mow underneath them, and so with the canopy on there, it's too tall to mow underneath the trees. And I'll take my camera with me when I go out there to mount this and show everybody what I'm talking about. But anyway, here's the first step. You got the pieces of square tube laid out here on the sawhorses. The first thing we need to do is get them cleaned off. And I've got some paint thinner here and some rags. And particularly any kind of tubing, is always shipped with a kind of a grease coating on there. And I'm not 100% sure why, but the best answer that I've gotten so far is that it's a rust preventative. You gotta imagine that when the steel comes out of the steel mill, it's shipped on flatbed railroad cars, and then from there it's transferred over to flatbed 18-wheelers to the metal store, metal supplier who ordered it. So it's open to the elements. Like I said, it's flatbed railroad cars, flatbed 18-wheelers. So they put this grease coating on there to prevent it from rusting while it's in transit. So you need to get that off. It really, really affects the welding, and it's just real nasty when you're trying to cut pieces, and your hands just get real nasty and greasy. And so the first thing I like to do is get some paint thinner or acetone or lacquer thinner or even gasoline or diesel. Diesel leaves a residue. I don't recommend it, but it works. Just something with a lot of alcohol in it that's going to evaporate and just leave you with a clean piece of steel. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started on these pieces, and then we'll start cutting them up and laying them out as we need them. Alright, so here's what we're working with. Up to now I've got all the grease and crud cleaned off the metal, and I've got everything cut to the length I need. And what I'm going for is roughly 6 feet by 5 feet. These measurements don't have to be super perfect. In fact, these cross beams right here are 5 feet, so add an inch on each side, so it's 5 feet 2 inches. And those 6-footers, they're actually 6 3/4, and they're both equal. The metal store cut those. They were just on the shelf, and they were just over 6 feet, and they were the exact same length, so I bought them. I didn't have to pay for a cut charge or anything like that. So anyway, the other ones I got at 10-foot lengths, because that's what fits in the bed of my truck. And so anyway, I got the 5-footers here, so 5 feet wide, and then 6 feet in length. So now I just got to start tacking this up, getting it as square as possible. And I guarantee you this concrete driveway here is not perfectly level. So we'll just do the best we can. It doesn't have to be, you know, we're not building rocket ships here. We're just building a simple canopy for a tractor. So anyway, I'll get the welder out and start tacking up this perimeter frame. Generally what I like to do when I'm trying to build something with right angles, something, you know, squarish or rectangular or something, you know, anything with a right angle, I like to start with one corner, use my T-square, and get that one corner at 90 degrees, put a couple tack welds on it, and then from there I come out and I do what's called cross measuring, and I'll show you that. Okay, this right here is cross measuring. You can see the tape measure going from one corner to the opposite corner. And what you do is you go back and forth. You start at one corner, measure the distance across, take the tape measure from that corner over here to this corner down here, and you get those measurements equal. When those measurements are equal, you're square. And it's pretty easy to do. It's pretty hard to screw up, even though I have seen people do it. But I can tell you right now, those people have the intelligence of that fan right there, so we're not too worried about them. But it's really easy. You just go from corner to corner, opposing corners, get the measurements equal, and put some tack welds, check it again. If you're still square, then fully welded. But it's a real basic form of getting something square, and it's very accurate, and so this is the way I like to do it.